Here we have it, the F10 N20 behind the grill intake. We are finally getting to a different motor in the F10 platform for the Bimmerhaus intake. In this case, we are doing a stage 1, where essentially that is going to be from the inlet down here, up around here, replace this air box, come in behind the grill, and we're going to be right in here. So this is what we're going to be working on today. All right, so the first step is we're just going to start taking things apart. First, obviously, we need to take the crossbar off. We're going to get the air box out, disconnect the MAF. This will actually, we will reuse. So we're going to just set the sensor aside. This inlet here is extremely fragile. So you're going to want to be very careful with that. Stage 2 that we're going to be working on and a design for will include this inlet into the turbo. But for stage 1, we're just coming down to this this clamp right here. So off camera, I'm going to get all this stuff removed here. It's pretty self-explanatory, and then we will go from there. All right, so we've got everything removed from the air box all the way down to that inlet. And so what I'm going to do first is attach this coupler. It's like just over a 3-inch down to a 3-inch reducing coupler. And then we're going to have this straight silicone. We're actually going to come in between these AC lines and the coolant. So that's where this will route. And then we've got this piece here with the MAF attached to it with a slight angle that will bring us up over to here. So I'm going to install this off camera and then bring you right back. All right, so that took all of about 2 minutes. Just made sure that this coupler was seated properly. It's got like a ledge in here on the inlet, so while I tightened the hose clamp, I pushed this onto it, and then installed this silicone runner. Got our MAF adapter, and then the 90, and we'll use these clamps here in a minute. But now we're going to move on to the fun part, which is you either have active or inactive grills behind your kidney grill that are meant to close and open based on the temperature. People opt to, when they're active grills, there's a motor that runs them. You might get a shadow code. You can actually program that feature out of your car, and so that the shadow code goes away. But that's kind of your preference on if you want to remove the whole entire front bumper, take the active grills out as a unit, or you can just break them. Everybody I've run into so far, they just break them. So really up to your preference. So I'll come back, I'm going to pull this kidney grill off, and then we'll work on getting the grills behind the kidney grill out. All right, so we got the kidney grill out. We bent this one down. He did have active grills, so we were able to actually remove the shutters and this carrier on the right hand side, and the motor is actually still connected. You can see, I don't know if you can see that, but the motor's right there. That'll still activate and deactivate, and hopefully won't throw any codes. So this is where we're going to be working. We're going to take this little air piece and trim up this plastic so we can get the filter in here behind the grill and get our pass-through right there. Here we have it, the F10 N20 behind the grill intake. So just some final install notes. I just trimmed that with a with a knife. It cuts really easy. And I fished in this longer runner with 45-degree silicone on it. This went right in. And then I used 2 band clamps. Because this inlet is kind of fragile and loose, I used the band clamps on these guys right here. So overall, I mean, honestly, getting the kidney grills off was the hardest part of the install. So only a couple clips were damaged in the making of this video. So we'll call that a success. And we'll get some sound clips for you, but definitely excited for this. Real quick. One thing I wanted to note is this heat shield. Some opt not to use it. The reality is this acts as a heat shield in the back from the radiator and as a hood scoop so that it will catch air and force that into the filter. And this is set up for summer driving. It does have a filter sock, so that will prevent, you know, moisture and stuff. The water will beat up on this. I feel like that's plenty, but in case you're in a harsh weather environment, let me show you what you can do. So here is a winter setup. If you're worried about snow or debris coming into your filter, simply loosen the band clamp, flip this thing around, and you're set for winter driving. And it will pull air in from behind the grill. So pretty versatile setup. You can run it either way depending on what environment you're in. Get some. No codes. That concludes the video for the N20 F10 behind the grill intake, and we got no codes. It's idling just fine. So reach out to me, DM me, hit me up on Instagram, Bimmerhaus Performance. I will hook you up. You get to choose your own color filter and filter guard if you go that direction. And if you buy an intake, we'll also do a diff insert at half price. So check it out. Thanks, guys.